Hi everyone, today in this video we will talk about the polar coordinate system. Please get ready and be focused as you learned it only in S1, but you will have to use the polar coordinate system in HKDSE. Alright, the polar coordinate system is used to represent the position of any point on a plane. This is how it looks. The center of the polar coordinate system is O, the origin, which is a fixed point, and it is called the pole. OX is called the polar axis, where X is on the right-hand side of O. At the same time, if there is a point P on a polar coordinate plane, like this, the distance OP is called the radius vector. We use R to represent it, R. From the polar axis, OX and OP, an angle is formed, which is the polar angle, We use theta to represent it. Also, we use an ordered pair, R and theta, where R is the radius vector and theta is the polar angle to represent the position of P on the polar coordinate plane. The ordered pair is called the polar coordinates. Look at this figure. What are the polar coordinates of A and B? For A, the radius vector is 1, 2, 3, which is 3. And the polar angle is 120 degrees. So the polar coordinate of A is 3 and 120 degrees. For B, the radius vector is 5, and the polar angle is 300 degrees. So the polar coordinate of B is 5 and 300 degrees. So actually, you can write it like this. Look at one more question on this topic. First, write down the polar coordinates of A and B. For A, it is 4 units away from the pole and lies on the polar axis. Thus, the polar coordinates of A are 4 and 0 degrees. For B, it is 1 unit and 120 degrees. So for B, it is 1 and 120 degrees. For part B, you have to plot the points P, Q, and R first. Okay, P, Q, and R. P is here, Q is here, R will be here. And then we have to find PR and angle QOR. For PR, it is actually PO plus OR, which means 2 units plus 5 units. So PR is actually 7 units long. 7 units. For angle QOR, angle QOR, this angle, so it will become 207 degrees minus 150 degrees. So it is 120 degrees for angle QOR. So that's it for polar coordinate system.